Hold on.
Good morning.
Let me tell you. Hello and welcome to the Sunny and Phoenix podcast,
All right.
the weekly podcast
where we keep you up to date with everything Phoenix Suns.
I'm your host, Charlie Erling, and
I'm
I have
joined by-
Mitch Crumpetich and David McGraw with me. What's up, guys?
Oh, you know, just coolin', boy.
We just sitting here, you know, we're done with Summer League. We're just, you know, whatever. We're really appreciating your time, Charlie.
You know
All
what?
right, and you know what? This is a perfect chance for us to go to our social media plugs.
You boys done?
Okay, are you ready to do it for real?
I think
thought
that
we
is the
should
real
just
one.
use
No,
that.
that's great outtake material.
All right.
Make sure to get a hold of us on social media. Our Twitter is @SunnyandPHXPod. Our email is sunnyandphxpod@gmail.com. And check us out over at our new host, the Deepish Thoughts Podcast Network, over at deepishthoughts.com.
Thanks for listening to the Sunny and Phoenix podcast. If you'd like to further support the show, you can head over to tpublic.com/user/sunnyandphx. That's teepublic.com/user/sunnyandphx. We've got t-shirts, mugs, phone cases, all kinds of stuff. You can get our famous cheese is warming up design, or just one that says Sunny and PHX. Again, tpublic.com/user/Sunny and PHX. And go Suns.
But today we're going to talk about the loss to the Kings, 93-87. So let's get into that right now. All right, so we dropped that game by 6. Some good back and forth action throughout the game. Let's just start things off by asking you guys, who did you like to watch the most on the Suns yesterday?
All right, well, I'm Mitch Crumpetich, since I didn't get introduced today.
Nobody's getting introduced today. We're keeping it quick, boy.
But on the Suns, my favorite person to watch was Davon Reed. I had seen him play before, like we talked about in the last episode, but I didn't realize how ginormous he is. 17 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. He's got a grown man's body, plays great defense, hustles really hard every play. Long wingspan. I see why we're so high on him. So, really enjoyed watching Davon Reed, and hopefully he can make an impact off the bench in our rotation this year.
Yeah, and even with being asked to do more with basically 3 guys sitting from the roster, asking him to do more, and you know, he was gassed a bit, but he was still working his tail off, and you gotta like that.
Yeah, and if you were to check out those shooting numbers, probably not as nice as they were in the other 5 games of Summer League so far, but he was being asked to do a lot in this game since we didn't play Josh Jackson or Dragan Bender. So, pretty thin roster. It was nice to see Reed step up. And I guess we got to do this. The other guy who put up the big points was Mike James. 25 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 turnovers. Not sure he's the guy I want running our bench unit as the point guard. Do you guys see him getting any time in the pros this year, or is he going to be pretty much strictly G League?
He's a G Leaguer overseas players. I just don't see him being, you know, an NBA player. Like, I get it, he's been scoring or whatever, but it's been at the detriment of the team, and that's a real problem. And when you're being a point guard or a guard in general, you want to be doing things that are improving the team, and I don't think he does that.
Yeah, I think he's just one of those guys that's like G League all year, and then like after the All-Star break when there's a lot of injuries, bad teams will like call him up, like we did Jordan McRae, Lorenzo Brown, those kind of guys. I think he's one of those guys.
So the one thing I do appreciate about James the most is when he does take it to the rim, he does a really nice job getting his shot over the big boys. He can put some nice loft on it, almost a bit of a hook when he gets in there, and a lot of the time is pretty successful when he gets close to the rim, and pretty decent shooter. I don't have his shooting stats for the Summer League, but he was shooting it well enough. But again, 4 assists, 4 turnovers. We haven't seen anything too special in that category, so we know we have Euless sitting there on the bench already, definitely James won't be seeing a ton of time this year.
Right.
You know who I'd rather see get games?
Anyone.
Shaq?
Shaq Harrison. I've been a really big fan of watching him play the last couple of days. I don't know what it is, just dude plays hard defense. He's 6'4",
Yep.
something like that. He's just a guard that's gonna go out there and put it all out there. Not a great scorer, but can go to the rim. And I don't know, I just liked watching him play. I felt like he had fire that was there, and he might not be the best choice, but he put it all out there, and that makes me feel pretty good about possibly giving him a little bit of time.
Yeah. The other thing that I really liked in the game against the Kings was seeing Derek Jones Jr. get the green light to do whatever he wanted, basically. He hit a couple threes, so that was pretty nice. His shooting form still has a ways to go, but I think it's cool that they said, you're the guy, do whatever you want, basically. And it went okay for him.
Yeah, when Mike James, Davon Reed, and Derek Jones Jr. are your top 3 scoring options and scorers, that's going to make for a pretty interesting game, but we know things were winding down. One more guy we got to talk about a little bit, Chris Obekpa, I think.
Yeah.
So he had 7 points, 6 boards, 4 steals, 3 blocks, 5 for 5 from the line. As an energy big, you can't ask for much more than that. I mean, he only got 1 bucket aside from the free throws, but he just brings something to the table, and he gets up real fast for his size. I don't know if the vertical's incredible, but he gets up quick, and he blocks a lot of shots.
Yeah, or I guess I should say, he's another one that I'm become a fan of while we've been watching these games. 6'9", maybe not the best athlete, but he's pretty quick. There was a play where he was trying to run back, and there was a center or power forward for the Kings that was already back and got the ball, and he's trying to yell to get someone to get there to contest the shot, and no one was getting there, and he just ended up getting there and blocking the shot. And yeah. I mean, I like the dude. He plays with energy, and if he could be a energy big that's played deep into the season, just brought up here or there, and energy big, rebounds, blocks shots, and hits free throws, I mean, that's not bad.
Watch out, Alex Len.
And another thing about Obekpa, he's built like a house. He's got some shoulders and some arms on him, and that's something we needed, especially without Bender and losing Chris. We needed a big man to show some muscle down in the paint. He did an excellent job of that, but he was outshined by Jack Cooley last night. And Jack Cooley, 13 points, 11 rebounds. It was the Jack Cooley show last night. The crowd was into it, giving him the MVP chance. It kind of lightened the mood at the game a little bit, made things fun. Kind of one of those things I really love sitting at a gym watching a few basketball games. I don't know. I just really enjoyed that.
Yeah, everyone was kind of into it, and it was silly and goofy, and this dude should probably be playing guard for some college team right now. Or
football.
Defensive end.
Football guard.
Sorry. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, offensive guard or defensive end for football is probably what he should be playing.
Yeah.
But I can't say that I wasn't having a good time just talking a little smack and laughing at all the Cooley stuff.
Yeah, it was funny. And when all of that happened, I was kind of frustrated with the game because we made some really dumb mistakes, and I was just looking for a little bit more at times. But when all of that started happening, I was just like, it's our last game of Summer League. I need to take it easy, and started laughing. It was fun, and it made me realize this was actually a good game. It was close.
Yeah, it was close.
It was pretty entertaining in the end.
It was Summer League without arguably the top 6 players from either Summer League team playing.
Yeah.
Right.
Bender,
right.
Chris, and Jackson on our side. De'Aaron Fox.
Buddy.
Papi Giannis wasn't playing, and Buddy.
Well.
Papi Giannis played a bit, but then got hurt, is what I mean. Plus, Frank Mason didn't play, and I mean, like, there was just a lot of guys out not playing. So you got to think that, considering all of that, that it was still a fun and entertaining game.
Right.
Yeah, and I guess we'll kind of close things on a bit of a disappointing note. We saw Papagiannis go down with a rough-looking injury, and when he hit the floor, he was moaning and groaning, and it did not look good. When he did finally get off the court, he didn't put weight on his left leg, left in a wheelchair out of the gym. But from what we've seen today, all that was a hip contusion. So it must have been some pretty intense pain, and I can understand that. But the one thing, as much as I don't like seeing a guy get injured, it made me very thankful that Bender and Jackson just rode the pine that whole game. Just seeing what happened to Chris makes you think, is this summer league worth it? But I'm thankful that Bender and Jackson got some time off, and they'll be healthy going into training camp.
Right.
Yeah, and I mean, like, neither of those guys really fall probably as hard as Papagiannis does, so there is that. But
Yeah.
you know, it sucks to see dudes get injured, and yeah, I was thinking it was a lot worse, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's reevaluated into something a little worse.
Yeah. I do have to say, though, to lighten the mood a little bit, one of my highlights from the game was Dragan Bender messing with one of our assistant coaches. Like, when they would do timeout huddles and stuff, Bender would go and, like, the coach was wearing a collared shirt, and Bender would, like, flip his collar up and then, like, walk away. He was just messing with this coach the entire time, and it was really funny. And I would just always watch whatever he was doing. So that was a pretty good source of entertainment.
Honestly, the amount of guys that were on other summer league rosters that, like, kept going in and out and, like, just checking out the game kind of surprised me.
Yeah.
I went down and said hey to Dylan Brooks when he was down there. Random Chris Copeland, who I don't think was on a roster, but is normally on some sort of G League roster.
Mm-hmm.
It was there, and a couple other dudes, and it was just one of those things that was like, this is the game you're checking out? I mean, okay, I guess, but whatever.
Well, by then, last night, it was getting pretty slim pickings to...
I mean, like,
choose
there's
what
that
game you wanted,
Raptors-Cleveland game, and they were, like, the top 2 seeds of the tourney.
That's true. Well, yeah, let's wrap it up. I think we're going to be doing one more episode at some point here. Maybe a nice recap of our time here in Vegas, and maybe some of the highlights. Obviously, some pretty funny stuff happened to us, and some pretty cool stuff happened to us. So
Yeah.
we'll maybe recap some of that. So we'll see you again next week, probably. Go Suns.